We're all gonna bail on a route someday or come across an anchoring situation that just isn't ideal. So I'm gonna show you what I like to carry in different situations so that I leave as little gear as possible and don't always have to go out and buy bail specific gear just so that I can get off of a route safely. Now, before we continue, I don't want to totally knock going to the store and having something that you're prepared to leave behind and bail on. So for example, quick links or rings, aluminum rings, such as this right here. These definitely have a useful place, and certainly many people will carry them in their packs. I often do. But you're often already carrying things on your harness that either you found and weren't able to get back to the owner, or potentially things that you've had for a really long time that just sit in your gear bin at home and don't do anything. I just keep a bag of all of the gear that I've found. And this is just a bunch of bail gear that's in good enough condition that I'm okay rappelling on it or whatever I need it for. And I'm always ready to just grab from this if I start running low on gear elsewhere. When I'm going single pitch cragging, I often have a large cragging pack like this 40-liter bag. In this front pocket here, I have some accessories. Yeah, I have like a trash bag, I have a wag bag, but I also have some bail specific gear. For example, I always carry an extra quick draw that I just have laying around. Perhaps it's old and I don't really want to take balls on it, but it's still perfectly strong enough to get me off of a single pitch route. An extra quick draw is great to have because potentially you're trying to finish a route and you just can't. And that's okay, it happens to all of us. However, a lot of people's initial inclination is to leave a single carabiner or even worse, a quick link. I'll link an article in the description that will tell you about how this can cause some serious problems for the next climber that comes along. With a quick draw, it's easy to simply clip your rope in and then lower off and then pull your rope, and by the time the next person arrives, they arrive to a quick draw instead of having to navigate around a quick link. Additionally, in my cragging pack, I also carry a cordelette. The reason I have a cordelette and not webbing is because a cordelette has ends that I can easily untie and then retie. It's a lot more versatile, and the cordelettes often can take a lot more abuse and last a lot longer because they actually have a sheath protecting their core than a standard piece of nylon webbing. Along with that, I also have at least one carabiner that I just don't worry about. Again, this can be something that you found at the crag and was unable to get back to its owner, or it can just be a carabiner that you buy specifically for this purpose because it's cheap. On a multi-pitch route, there's already a lot more going on in general, so I like to pad the edges a little bit, so to speak, so that I'm always ready for an unexpected scenario and I'm prepared to leave something behind if need be. First of all, think about what you connect your chalk bag to your body with. Many folks will use a carabiner. Some folks will actually use the belt that comes along with the bag that has a buckle clip. And the buckle clip's great, however, your backpack also likely has a buckle clip. And at least on one occasion to me, and I know it's happened to others, people instead of unclipping their backpack buckle, inadvertently unclip their chalk bag and watch it sail down the route. So I like to take old cordelette and then sling it through the chalk bag and wear this around my waist. The benefit of this is that now around my waist, I actually have real gear that's load tested and I can actually use it. If I'm on a route that has a lot of traditionally protected stances and anchors, often I'm going to carry two 18-foot to 20-foot sections of cordelette with me. One of those you can see here is a lot older, and this is one I'm pretty much always ready to cut up and leave behind if need be. Even when I put my rack in my backpack, the very thing that I put my rack on and then set it into my backpack, later put it on my neck to organize, and then this sling just goes away into the bottom of my pack for later. I like to organize my rack on a nylon sling, just an old shoulder length nylon sling. The reason I use an old nylon shoulder length sling instead of Dyneema is because nylon I can cut and then retie together. Dyneema is much too slippery of a material to do this with and can fail catastrophically when tried to retie. Even the thing that I carry my gloves on can potentially be a carabiner I'm ready to leave behind. So when I have my gloves clipped to my harness or clipped securely inside of my backpack, I use a carabiner that, again, I've either had for a really long time, I don't particularly like for some reason, or it's one that I found somewhere. Sometimes maybe it's just an all bolted route, but even then, I still want to be prepared for any kind of weird scenarios that can happen. So in my multi-pitch pack, I still like to carry, and in this case, I have it clipped on an inner loop so that I can easily reach it. Just a couple of carabiners, one of which here is a locker, and just a section of cordelette. It doesn't have to be very much. After all the anchors are bolted, but you never know when you're going to run across something weird. Sometimes you might run across a bolted station, and for any number of reasons, the nice round soft rings that are attached usually to the hangers are gone, and we can't simply pass our rope through the hangers. So I'll either put some carabiners in there, a quick link, or maybe I'll just put some cord through here and bring it down to a central power point and tie a knot. So you can see that there are a lot of ways that you can always have bail gear on your person, but not have to just go out and buy bail-specific gear or break the bank trying to prepare for something that most likely most of the time won't happen. The amount of time I actually have to leave something on a route is fairly minimal. And because of that, I don't really have to use these techniques very often. But because I always carry these things with me and often I can use them in the actual climbing itself, I'm always prepared to.